Friends, there is a fire on the mountain. Will the SDA Church also release statement concerning this?
If you perform a sexual act with a person of the same sex, then you have committed the offense of homosexuality. And what is the punishment? Imprisonment for life.
So-called aggravated homosexuality, including gay sex while infected with HIV, can carry the death penalty.
It's all about Uganda's anti-LGBT law that was recently passed. And what is the Seventh-day Adventist Church statement concerning this law? If you want to know more about this, please watch this video to the end. But before we get started, let me welcome all those who are watching this channel for the first time. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. My name is Lawrence, and here on this channel, I share stories that are happening in and outside of the SDA Church. So if you want to know things that are happening in and outside of the SDA Church, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any video we upload. Recently, Uganda passed bill in their parliament to crack down LGBT in the country. And this bill that was passed is described by many as harsh because people who are convicted of practicing LGBT could spend some 20 years in prison and, in a worst case, death penalty.
When you carry out acts of homosexuality through force or duress or undue influence, then the law defines that as aggravated homosexuality. And what is the punishment? The maximum punishment is death.
Now, friends, since this bill was passed in Uganda's parliament, many Western countries actually condemned it. And currently, Uganda is facing some sanctions coming from some of the Western countries. The almighty US has revoked the visa of some of the leaders of Uganda.
That you're going to be blocked from going to America. Do I need to go to America? I was sent here by people of Bukedea. I am what I am because of my people. I am not because I want to go and get a donation. If you're saying there will be no food, I'll go and dig cassava in Bukedea.
And that means don't waste your time applying for a visa to any of those countries. I cannot, for example, apply for a visa to the US. Fortunately, I was last in the US in 2009.
Now, friends, some Christian churches are coming out to also condemn Uganda's anti-LGBT bill. Well, we are going to look at this, but let's first start from here. Pope Francis, who is the head of the Catholic Church, recently made statements that laws criminalizing homosexuality is actually unjust, and he urged the Catholic Church not to support things like that. Friends, also some leaders of the Anglican and Presbyterian churches shared in the idea of the Pope. They agree that homosexuality should not be criminalized. So what Uganda actually did is inhuman. Now, friends, moving away from the Anglican and Presbyterian churches, the Methodist Church has also released statements of concern regarding Uganda's anti-LGBT bill that was recently passed. So let's go ahead and read what the Methodist Church in Norway has actually released concerning this issue. It says, the Methodist Church in Norway is deeply concerned about increasing incitement and persecution of LGBT people, both here at home and abroad. New legislation in Uganda against LGBT people show attitudes that we as a church will distance ourselves from. We find it painful that churches and Christians are very active in such actions. The Methodist Church strongly opposes the use of the death penalty and condemns its use to intimidate and marginalize LGBT people and their families. So friends, this is a statement released by the Methodist Church in Norway concerning Uganda's anti-LGBT law that was recently passed in Uganda's parliament. Now friends, what about SDA? What about the Seventh-day Adventist Church statement concerning this? Adventists actually are looking forward that the General Conference or the church put out statement concerning Uganda's anti-LGBT bill. But unfortunately for those who were expecting something from the SDA Church, that is, something from the General Conference concerning Uganda's anti-LGBT bill, in fact, there is nothing like that. There is absolutely nothing coming from the church concerning Uganda's anti-LGBT bill. Are you also expecting the Seventh-day Adventist Church to release statement concerning this? I don't know, but if you are still expecting the church to do that, let us know in the comment section, alright? Personally, friends, I was expecting something from my church. I was expecting something from the SDA church, since the church in Uganda was active or supported this LGBT bill that was passed recently. So I was expecting the General Conference or the World Church to say something at least about what is going on about the bill that was passed in Uganda. Maybe you may not know of this, but there is an interfaith group in Uganda of which the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Uganda is a member.
Fight prejudice, stigma and discrimination, improve education, increase access to testing and treatment, and mobilize more local and external funds. To date, as the religious leaders, under the auspices of the Interreligious Council of Uganda, we would like to reiterate our commitment to addressing the issue of HIV prevention with our focus mainly on men, girls, and younger women. The need to expand efforts to address the social, cultural,
and they actively supported this bill to be passed in the Parliament of Uganda. So friends, the SDA Church in Uganda is part of this ecumenism, and this is a whole issue, but this is not what we are talking about today. Maybe we're going to talk about that later, but what we are talking about today is Uganda's anti-LGBT bill and some churches' response to that bill, or what some churches are saying concerning that bill. Personally, friends, I totally agree, coming from a biblical point of view, that the practice of LGBT is not the ideal. It is against God's will for man. So I strongly agree that it should not be encouraged at all, especially in the churches. You know that the Seventh-day Adventist Church is facing this issue. There are so many people in the church that are supporting the affirmation of LGBT in the church, and there are some people too that are not in support of it. Example, myself. However, death penalty for LGBT convicts is too much. Friends, my people in Uganda, it is too much. And I think Uganda should review this bill, but this does not mean that I am in support of homosexuality. But what I'm thinking right now is that the death penalty is too much. Friends, I also want to know what your thoughts are concerning this issue. Should the SDA Church also put out statements, since all other churches are putting out statements? Do you agree to this? Should the church also put out statements concerning this? If you want to hear that from your church, please comment down there and share this video with all your Adventist friends. Alright friends, this is all that I had for you today, and if you want more stories concerning things happening in the church and outside of the SDA Church, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any video we publish. Alright, thank you for watching. My name is Lawrence, and see you next time.